And then the second last topic, post-processing and color correction. If you go to View, World Properties, and then section Rendering, Default Post-Process Settings, then all of these settings here are used for PC, but mobile is able to use mobile post-process and mobile color grading. So these two are for mobile, everything else is ignored pretty much. If you look at mobile post-process, this relies on bloom and depth of field being set to true in the ini file. So it only works if those two are true, which in my case is the case, so we can enable all of that and then mess with the settings. Again, it's emulation, it's not entirely accurate. You can see the depth of field works. Gets blurry, you can change the range of the depth of field. Depth of field and bloom settings on mobile are fairly, probably won't show up actually on emulation, but they're fairly limited. You can't really do all that much with it. The bloom in particular I think looks quite bad, it's very narrow. So it might be taking more performance than what you get back for it in return as a visual payback. More important, however, is mobile color grading. Using mobile color grading, you can change the look of the scene, making it more green, making it more red, etc. But you can also increase the brightness and contrast, which is very much so needed. If you would install the level as is on a mobile device, it would look very washed out. It would look very boring, very washed out. In order to get this contrasted, strongly well-defined look that you have on PC, what you would need to do is mess with mobile color grading. So blend first of all has to be 1. If blend is 0, then you basically disabled color grading. If it's 1, then you use it 100%. If it's 0.5, you use 50% color grading, 50% the original. So you simply set it to 1. You can see it gets quite a lot darker. You can use desaturation, which obviously desaturates. I usually use 20% desaturation to bring the colors a bit closer together. And then I would mess with highlights and midtones. If you lower the highlights, it gets even darker. If you raise them, it gets brighter. And now it gets red, so you can play with these colors over here. I'm going to set it to 111 for a moment. And then I'm going to set midtones. For example, you could get this. Again, this will not exactly look like this. It would look simpler on mobile. PC makes it look nicer than it is. But this reduces the contrast if you increase the values here. But what I usually do is I actually go negative. So I'm going to go negative -3, for example. What you get out of that is more contrast. So you get more contrast. So by playing with these numbers up or down, you will get a better looking scene. Again, it appears much darker here than it would on the device, so it's not very representative. If you look in mechanical, what we've done over here is for mobile post-processing we have these settings, and for color grading I have this. Blend is 1 indeed, desaturation is 12.5%, highlights is 0.8, and midtone 0.05, and I do not use any shadows. We also have some post-process volumes in here. For example, when you go into the water, there is a post-process volume, which is this one. And it has the following settings for post-processing and color grading. So it makes the screen more bluish, greenish to give you a watery feeling. And it also increases the depth of field so it feels more bloomy and more blurry as well.